Hi, this is Elizabeth Viljoen for Toastmasters New Zealand, and it is my privilege today to interview Giyora. Giyora, it's wonderful to have you here, and we are going to speak about a few things. One of them is the reason why you joined Toastmasters, but also how you've grown as a Toastmaster.
Brilliant. And
Thank,
I'm more than happy to share and have a quick chat.
thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. Let's go to your field of knowledge. You are in real estate. So tell me, how did your career in real estate start?
I I usually share it as a joke, but it's the absolute truth. I got into real estate simply because my wife told me to. And
That's a very good
yeah,
way of
I
avoiding.
learned over the years that my wife is a very clever person, and so when she recommends something, I listen. I don't always do, but I listen. And in this case, I did do what she told me to.
That's excellent. She's a wise woman. So tell me, when did you shift from training real estate, or when did you shift from selling to training real estate salespeople?
At the end of, I think it was end of 2015. So I sold real estate for, I like to say a decade. It sounds more impressive than 10 years. So I sold real estate for a decade in Auckland. And at the end of 2015, the company that I was working for uh, advertised for a training position in their head office, and I applied for it just thinking, oh, they'll probably never take me, but let's give it a go and see how far it goes. And surprisingly, I performed well during the tests and the tests of presentations that they asked me to do, and I credit that to Toastmasters, and shifted at that point from selling real estate to training.
I thought Toastmasters must have something to do with your speaking ability.
Definitely.
You also now speak in front of audiences, and I suppose that's to do with real estate.
Yes.
Um, did that happen more or less the same time, or are you progressing in your career?
It's so for many years, probably a few years after I joined Toastmasters, I had this dream or aspiration to one day become a keynote speaker. And as I was growing my career as a real estate salesperson and becoming better at what I did, some people said successful, I that dream of becoming a keynote speaker grew, and that is partly the reason why I moved into training. I thought I'll try training first, see how it works, and then shift to keynote speaking. And it kind of happened, well, not kind of happened, but it happened because I reached a point where I thought I've done a little bit of training. Now let's start the keynote speaking and see how that goes. So I still do training, and I continuously try and build my business as a keynote speaker as well.
It's lovely to hear about your progress as a speaker from being a trainer. Recently, you were one of the 8 finalists in the Toastmasters International
Mm.
Speech Contest on district level. That meant that first you won at club level, then you won the area contest, then the division contest. So that's a huge achievement. Well done.
Thank you.
I want to know, which club do you belong to? A club that can get someone to speak that well.
I I belong to Eden-Epsom Toastmasters, and I guess definitely part of the credit of my speaking ability I can credit to that specific club because of certain members of the clubs who helped me. But I think it's not just the club itself; it's the exposure and the experience of Toastmasters in general. That's really where I grew and learned and experienced. So the club and members of the club definitely have had an input into the growth of my speaking career, but Toastmasters in general as an organization, or Toastmasters New Zealand, is probably the bigger family that gave me the ability to grow.
Yeah, I do watch them on social media and sometimes get a bit of FOMO when I see what they're doing at Eden-Epsom. When did you join Toastmasters? How long have you been a member now?
Way too long. I joined Toastmasters more or less at the same time that I joined real estate, or maybe about a year after. And really, real estate is the thing that drove me to Toastmasters. So that's 2006, I think, that I joined Toastmasters. So quite a long time ago.
So you said that real estate drove you to Toastmasters. Is that why you signed up as a member?
Yeah, definitely. I am my personality, naturally very shy, introverted. I don't like speaking to people. And when I joined sales is all about going out and talking to people, not necessarily being the dominant speaker, but speaking and presenting and being able to express yourself. And I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to present to people. Yeah, so Toastmasters was one of the things that were recommended to me. Go and join Toastmaster, learn presentation skills, build confidence, and it will help you. And it definitely did that.
Yeah, I know how I gained confidence by joining Toastmasters. Now, you are not only a Toastmaster, you are also on the board of the Professional Speakers Association of New Zealand.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that organization.
So the Professional Speakers Association of New Zealand, as the name says, is an association that incorporates people who are professional speakers or aspire to be professional speakers, keynote speakers, trainers, to some degree maybe some coaching as well, but it's about public speaking, the business of public speaking. So if I try and compare it a little bit to Toastmasters, Toastmasters is where you maybe learn public speaking and gain confidence. And the Professional Speakers Association of New Zealand is where you learn the business of speaking. So it's not about learning how to speak, it's about how do you run your business as a speaker. So slightly different.
Yes, that's true. Tell me, why did you make yourself available for a role on the board?
I learned many years ago that the only way to get is to give. If I want to get out something out of an organization, if I just stay as a member and I don't contribute and I don't go into, say, leadership or give as much as I can to the organization, I'm not going to get that much back. But the minute I get involved with trying to help, trying to get the organization to be the best that it can and be involved in leadership, that's when I begin to get back from the organization. So I did that. That's why I decided to join the board, or was volunteered to join the board. And I think it's similar to Toastmasters. If you are just in your club and you never go into leadership in the club and then leadership outside of the club, you grow and you learn, but you don't become as rounded as a speaker and a person in the same way that you would if you actually go and start contributing.
Yeah, and there are two things that I realized about leadership. One is it's not about being in control, it's about serving.
Yeah.
So you make a big difference. And the other thing is it's about being ready to speak. You cannot prepare to speak. You suddenly have to be ready to give a speech at any moment. And that's the best growth for your speaking skills too.
Definitely. I mean, I think our recording right now is a classical example. We kind of planned it, but because of the things that happened in the morning, we couldn't do it. And now we just went, oh, let's do it in 10 minutes. And here we are speaking.
Yes, you have to be ready no matter what the circumstances, except when there's no electricity.
Yes.
Tell me, how long will you serve in this role on the board?
I guess until they kick me out and say we have somebody better than you to do this role, or I progress or decide to move to something different. There is no, as far as I know, there's no time limit on it. Say like Toastmaster, where you serve for a year. So it depends on what happens next with the board.
Yes, yes. In Toastmasters, it's about leadership development. Well, that's a bit of a different focus for your organization.
Yeah.
So, what are, first of all, why did you join the Professional Speakers Association?
Really learn the business. From Toastmasters, I learned how to speak. I became a confident speaker. But I didn't know what to do in order to become a keynote speaker, what to do in order to become a trainer. How do I go and I say, hey, look, this is what I'm good at, this is what I want to do. How do I take it to expose myself to businesses, to grow my business? And so this is why I joined, to be in the presence of other professional speakers, learn from them, and then grow my business.
So, what are the benefits for someone who would like to become a professional speaker to join that organization?
It's very similar to what I said. It's about, in the same way that when we go to Toastmaster, we are surrounded by people who want to become more confident and better speakers. When you join the Professional Speakers Association, you are surrounded by people who want to become better or improve their speaking business. So there's definitely development in the way of becoming a better speaker from where we are, but also development of how do I get more business, what activities, where do I advertise, how do I connect, how do I hone my message so people can leave the speech and go, wow, that was a great presentation. Or what do I do if I need to speak to a CEO or somebody in a corporation and try and really sell myself, sell my business. So that's what the association is about, and you grow with the people that are around you, getting feedback from them and learning from each other, external and international speakers as well who come to present to us.
Yeah, so similar goals, but also a network of people.
Yeah, that's correct.
Someone watching this interview might want to become a professional speaker. Would you suggest that they join both Toastmasters and the Professional Speakers Association?
It really depends on the person's situation. If the person has no experience whatsoever in public speaking, I would say join Toastmasters, learn to speak, develop a little bit of confidence, and then as you begin to grow as a speaker, join the Professional Speakers Association, and that will help you with your business perspective. But if they are very, very confident, if they are really good speakers, probably what they need is more about how do they develop their business. So that's more the professional speakers. And if they are an okay speaker, but they can already speak, then I would say join both. So Toastmasters will help you become a better speaker, and the association will help you build your business and become a better business. So it depends on the situation. Sometimes it's just one, and sometimes it's both of them.
Now, looking at Toastmasters, do you know about the accredited speaker program? One of our Toastmasters in New Zealand, Lauren Parsons, is taking part in that this year.
Yeah, I am familiar with it. I know that it's there, and I remember a few years ago actually reading about it, but I really don't remember what is involved in it in the process. So I'm aware that it is something that exists, but I have not done too much research about it.
The Professional Speakers Association has their annual summit, and it's scheduled for the 13th of August.
Yes.
So what happens during this summit?
So once a year we conduct this summit. It's about giving to members of the association tools or a concentrated day where they can go and get tools to improve their presentations, to improve their speaking, to improve their business. In a way, it's a little bit similar to the Toastmasters conference that we have, but it's just one day and just presentations. So presentations, for example, this year we have presentations about how to get better at sales with the selling of your business, how to craft and create a keynote speech, how to be a better online presenter, how to develop digital marketing strategies and build courses. So various things that professional speakers or people who aspire to be professional speakers can learn from coming to the summit. So it's one day focused on learnings and on presentations that hopefully the attendees will leave going, right, now I have tools, now I developed some skills, and I can take everything and really bring my business up.
So do you have a specific target audience for this summit, or may anyone attend?
And anybody can attend. This is open for members and non-members as well. It is designed in a way that it has really sessions and topics that will be for people who are beginners, who are thinking about doing that. For example, how to craft a keynote speech, or how to do a better online presentations. Those are skills that are possibly for people who are at the beginning stages, even though very experienced people can learn from that as well. But also sessions about sales and the growth of the business that are targeted for people who are possibly a little bit more experienced. So it is open for everybody. Anybody can join. Anybody from Toastmasters who wants can definitely join as well. And it's really about helping people who want to progress their lives or progress in their journey of becoming a better speaker, a keynote speaker, or a trainer. Just the tools to become better at what we do.
After reaching the district finals this year, you are now set on a path of success. How do you see that path? Does it include the very coveted World Championship of Public Speaking?
That is definitely the goal. I am I am very, very focused with trying to achieve that goal. I was like I think like everybody who loses in competitions, I was heartbroken not to win, and I immediately went back home and looked at my speech and went, right, what did I do wrong? How can I improve my speech for next time? And kind of analyzed my presentation, comparing it with the other speakers. But it's definitely something that I want to achieve. When I joined Toastmasters, it was something that I worked towards, but then got busy with life, and now it is something that I'm very focused on trying to achieve. So there will be a few more attempts.
That's so good to hear. And your goals for Toastmasters in general? What are you going to do in this year that's starting now in July?
In terms of Toastmasters in general, my biggest focus is on trying to get to the World Championship and win it, hopefully this year, but maybe a few years down the track, and support my club, join as many meetings in my club as I can, and help in whatever way that I can. I was asked to speak in the humor gala that Three Kings Toastmasters organized a few weeks ago. So, and anything that I can help with in terms of Toastmasters, I'm always happy to help with, and support my club, and obviously work on my goal of achieving the end results either this year or in a few years' time.
I often hear of people who say that they test their jokes in their Toastmasters club, and then they take that when they perform. So these goals of yours, do they align with your career goals, with where you see you want to go?
The two work together. Obviously, if I do win the championship, the fact that I can say I am the World Championship of Public Speaking is definitely a door opener. but it is not something that I must have in order to grow my career. So the two kind of work in parallel lines, but one is not dependent on the others. I do one and I do the other, and if they hopefully get connected at one point, it'll be brilliant. But if not, the other path, whichever path it is, will continue to work.
Thank you so much. So this is the end of the interview.
That was
I just
quick and
want to
easy.
say, I really enjoyed your speech during the district contest.
Thank you.
It's just on the day, you give your very best, and
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic. And then out of nowhere, someone comes who's even better. That's just one of those things.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's
You
good
have
to know.
you have to swallow your pride and go, okay, let's work on the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to know that you will go back and try again, because that's how we succeed.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We will also post a link, or we already did post a link to the Professional Speakers Summit,
Oh, great.
if people would like to join that.
Yeah.
But most of all, we cheer for you as a professional speaker and also as a contest speaker, and hope to see you again and again, and then representing New Zealand on the
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Really appreciate the time and the questions. So thank you for this.